What's good, internet? Jake here, Jake as ever. And in today's video, I'm going to be watching some reviews from Carnage Creations, a fellow YouTube content creator. I got permission from him to take a look at these videos. This is his channel, Carnage Creations, right here. So this is going to be linked in the description, so go ahead and check that out. So Carnage Creations, he found some toys early. He found Devastation Optimus Prime, G2 Grimlock, and B127 from Studio Series early. I don't know. I don't know how. Maybe he explains it in the video. But he found them early. Got some really good video of them. So I'm gonna watch some of this. Not the whole videos. You should go watch the videos yourself. Congrats on the 36K views, by the way, Carnage Creations. Also, Carnage has a podcast that's come out. It's a Beast Wars podcast. I'll put up the Twitter like picture on it. What am I saying? I'll put up a picture of it, like the name, because I don't remember, and like a link in the description. So check that out, because I'll be listening to that. I need to watch Beast Wars for like the first time. I've seen like season 1, but I need to watch more. So I'll probably like rewatch season 1 and listen to their podcast as it comes out. But he found Transformers Devastation Prime. It's funny, I just recently played Devastation for like the second time ever. The first time I played it, I was like, I don't get it. I was like, I don't really like it, unfortunately. But I played it yesterday and it was actually fantastic. I had a great time. And it's probably gonna be my like go-to game for background stuff in my videos for a while. Just because it's so much fun to battle and transform and all that stuff. But yeah, this is Devastation Optimus Prime. And from the first photos we saw, I thought he looked terrible. I think most people thought he looked terrible. So I'm interested to see what's up with this guy. So let's just get into it and let's listen to Carnage talk for a little bit.
You don't have to. Look, this ain't going to be a positive review.
Okay.
Yeah, for the most part. But let's start with a couple of positives.
Well, there's a new packaging.
I know this has been a little bit of a debate in itself on the online Transformers community. It's the typical issue with change, but I personally don't mind it. Plastic windows are back.
Yeah, I like the new packaging. I like the new packaging as well. I don't think it's that bad. I think people are being a little bit dramatic about it. You know, the portrait of the character with the vehicle is nice. It clearly is showing like what the point of the toy is. You gotta think about it as a kid. Like, a kid doesn't know what a Transformer is if they've never seen it. So like, it's kind of the job of the marketing team and like the designers at Hasbro to make a cool package that stands out on the shelves, but also conveys what the toy is. And I think the packaging here does do it. I get it's a little bit plain, but I do like minimalism in terms of packaging sometimes. You know, I do like the toyetic sort of packaging. I've said that before, but I really don't mind this. These are collector's figures. It looks like a collector's box. It does say Devastation Optimus Prime, which is interesting. Because some of them don't have the like Armada universe or whatever on the packaging, or maybe it's changed and they do now, but they didn't used to. But yeah, this is the package.
And hopefully Hasbro are using recycled plastic, but at least for now, the arseholes aren't stealing our heads. This Optimus Prime is based on the well-received 2015 PlayStation 3 game Transformers Devastation, which was very much known for its
PS3 classic.
style. With Prime out of the box, we can see the lovely cell shading on display. He is rather small, but
Yeah, the cell shading on this figure. First things first, not enough. I feel like he needs way more. The 35th anniversary Prime. I had that for a long time. I unfortunately sold it probably last year at some point. But I had that, and the cell shading on that figure is amazing. This Optimus Prime is a fantastic version of the cell shading. When I heard we were gonna get a Devastation Optimus, I was kind of assuming it would be a lot more like this. He's got cell shading on his arms, his windows, his head, like it's all over, and it looks incredible. Him and I want to say, yeah, Megatron also got a cell shaded version, which I never had, but the Optimus was incredible. My only issue with it was the Siege one, which is a great figure. Don't get me wrong, but he's like obviously meant to be cartoon inspired, and that's not what the Siege version is. It's kind of its own thing. So that's what I was expecting from this, and it's not that. It's brightly colored. I'll give it that. I like the bright colors. But the only cell shaded part is his chest windows.
But he looks good enough in robot mode at least, and from the front, but more on that later. Optimus comes with the obligatory instruction sheet, his axe, which admittedly looks cool with some swooshing effects, and 2 smokestacks which need...
I don't like the axe. I like the idea of the swooshing effects, but it being, well, I guess it makes sense that it's all the same color, right? But I don't know. I just feel like it's just it's just giving a little bit like McDonald's toy vibe. It kind of like it being in his hand like that. First of all, it's completely exposed. He's holding it like an actual weapon. It's not covering his hand. That looks bad. Just full on looks bad. But second of all, I don't know. It just reminds me of one of those Cyberverse, or was it Cyberverse? It was, I can't remember, but it was a cartoon toy line, and they only half transformed. Someone in the comments remind me what those were. I can't remember what toy line, but I want to say Cyberverse, but they were only half transforming. They'd like go to vehicle to like half a transformer, and this reminds me of that for some reason. It just feels a bit cheap. Is my main point.
They just peg into the shoulders here and here.
He has peg in smokestacks, which many Optimus Primes have now,
which looks okay, but
head sculpt does look fine. Not the best Optimus.
Unfortunately, mine has a small scratch on the painted faceplate. His chest/abdomen is a little odd too, permanently in kind of an arched looking posture. His hands fold out on hinges, but
I do kind of like that. I like the geometry of his body here. I think he looks pretty cool. I don't know if he like reminds me explicitly of Devastation Prime. I get the feeling, so he's a deluxe class. I don't know if I've said that. He is a deluxe class, so he's quite small, right? I get the feeling he's kind of meant to scale with Devastator, like in the games. Because I think he probably would, being a deluxe next to Devastator, the 86 Devastator, I mean, we could be looking at a, like, 86 Devastator into Devastation Devastator repaint, which, you know, sounds interesting, could be cool.
But they don't really sit flush, so they got these little blue bits showing.
Yeah.
It looks a little odd and takes away from the
yeah,
so
that looks
look fine.
bad.
Again,
legs look pretty cool in my opinion.
It's a little lackluster.
I like how everything's filled in here. That's nicer than I was expecting.
Speaking of the back, it's a right mess. I guess they were going for the Earthrise / Kingdom.
I'll say these wheels look a lot better to me because I mean, I don't want to be this way, but it just makes me think of ass cheeks when I look at these these wheels on his back. Like that's all it makes me think about is ass cheeks. So I do prefer this orientation here, though it probably sticks out more.
Prime thing, but in this smaller scale, it really doesn't work, and it looks pretty shit. And obviously, it doesn't even match the on-screen or in-game model. In fact, this figure doesn't really match the in-game.
Yeah, a like Studio Series Commander class Optimus, cell shaded with the cell shaded deco,
figure in the
would match Devastation Optimus a lot more.
Game looks more like a typical G1 Optimus Prime. This is G1 adjacent at best. Tell me what you think in the comments below. Yay or nay? Some quick size comparisons, because again, he's kind of small. With the recently released
Hold on, let me move my camera here for a second. I'm just gonna move this. Come on. I hate OBS so much. I don't know. This is just a funny. These two together in specific just feels really funny. Also, it does seem like he doesn't really have a neck. You know what I mean? Like, his head's just, like, on there. Which I guess is kind of normal, but, like, you can see the ball joint peg a little bit here. Which gives just, like, the tiniest illusion of a neck. but it doesn't look like that here.
G1 Universe Optimus, G1 Optimus Prime, and my recently reviewed MP60 Jinrai. Anyways, articulation. Head is on a swivel, no tilt unless you use the transformation.
Yeah, okay, no tilt.
Kind of shit. Universal shoulders. Hey, you didn't do the thing.
Good bleeping, man. I'm just playing around.
Universal shoulders with a decent range, a very tight bicep swivel, 90 degrees single elbow bend, no hand articulation, 360 degree waist swivel, though it does clash with the wheel kibble on his back. You can move it, but it just makes it look more ugly.
Yeah.
Universal hips with a full range. Above the knee swivel, no thigh swivel, 90 degree knees, a full 90 degree ankle tilt, and toe movement due to transformation. You can pull off a pose at least. Before we transform, Prime does have an opening chest with a removable matrix, so that's nice. It is hard
What is that matrix, bro?
to get out with the fingers though, and it would be nice if there was a little paint
What?
applied.
Yeah, like some. It's just pure white. Look, I'm kind of like Perspective End has this thing where he really hates that they keep adding matrices. I don't mind it. I mean, I know they used to be rare back in the day or whatever, but you know, it being a standard for Optimus Prime kind of makes sense to me. But don't include it if you're just gonna do some shit like that. Like, put some paint on it, bruh. Put some pepper on it. There's nothing, bruh.
Straightforward, as you'd expect.
Let me make my face cam smaller. I feel like I'm blocking too much.
Fold the wheels down and click them in.
Let's see
Rotate
this
the waist
transformation.
180 degrees. Fold back the rib sections almost 180 and straighten the grill. Fold the toe and heel in, untab and open the side leg panel. Fold out the two halves of the hitch and rotate the wheel blocks out.
Yeah.
Tilt the hips forward towards the thighs and then tab in the rib section. The
Okay.
arms out and back in standard.
It kind of is like a
they tap into
tiny
the back
version
leg,
of the
fold away
MP,
hands,
or not
and tap
MP.
the arms into the cap. If it isn't already, tab in the bumper bar, fold the leg panels in, job done.
Yeah, the way these parts end up on the back here does remind me a lot of the Studio Series 86 Prime. And the way the wheels fold out. I mean, it's definitely not the same transformation, to be clear. It's just some pieces of it kind of remind me of that.
In standard Optimus Prime style, they tap into the back of the head flap, fold away the hands, and tab the arms into the cap. If it isn't already, tab in the bumper bar, fold the leg panels in, job done. His axe can also peg into the truck bed, but it's kind of truck mode.
Yeah.
Kind of sucks.
Ignoring the... Yeah. I don't know if I think he sucks, but he's not like... This part right here is standing out to me a ton. This is bothering me. this missing section here. It just looks like incomplete. Big thing people are, pointing out is that he has a real... Let me see if I can...
They tap into the back of the head flap, fold away the hand.
He has a real chest, or a real, like, grill abs. I can't even speak. He has real grill abs, which is, if you don't know, if you're not a huge fan or you're not up with the community, people really don't like faux parts, which are fake parts used to get to the transformation. So, oftentimes, Optimus Prime's grill chest will be a different grill chest than the one on the truck mode. And a lot of people are saying the best part about this toy is the grill, and it is cool. It is cool to have an Optimus Prime that, can do that, since we've gotten so many G1 Primes, and I don't think any of them do. G1 Universe, the, like, toy version of Optimus Prime does it, obviously, but...
And tap the arms into the cap. If it isn't already...
But me personally, I'm not a faux parts hater. I really do not care. It's just interesting. I'm just repeating what other people are talking about.
Gappy. It's an okay representation of a truck, but again, it's not matching the on-screen model, which looks...
Also, the back of the truck feels so much larger than the front. Like, the way the legs curve is really cool in robot mode, but it does kind of make them seem massive in vehicle mode. And that trailer hitches.
It's more like
really
a
funny.
traditional G1 Optimus Prime. The cell shading's the saving grace again, but there's none of it on the barely moulded side windows. The fuel tank areas look like shit, with the visible hip just really an eyesore. As a kid's toy, it's fun enough, but not great compared to the other Optimus Primes we've had of late. One more positive feature if you happen to own one of the many Earthrise trailers. This one's from Volvo Prime. Devastation Prime can nicely tow it, though you do have to remove this adapter if it's present.
Yeah, well, that's
now
nice.
For some truck mode comparisons.
That should be
with
standard.
The G1 Universe Optimus Prime, it's very comparable, similar in most dimensions. My original G1 Optimus Prime, the Earthrise / Kingdom Prime, and finally Studio Series 86 Optimus Prime. Look, the figure is a fine enough toy.
Where'd he... Oh, he must have, like, toy hacks or something. I really like that.
Look, the figure is a fine enough toy. Is it worth full retail? I don't believe so. I'd recommend picking it up at least a slight discount. To be honest, it's not really my cup of tea, and I like collecting primes. But you do you. Pick it up if it takes your fancy. At the end of the day, it's all...
Unfortunately, I'll probably be buying this just because of the potential Devastator repaint that I just thought of in my head, that I just imagined, essentially. So that's Devastation Prime. Awesome video, awesome quality here. So cool to see this toy. I feel like pretty early with this amount of quality. So yeah, I'll probably buy it. I don't think it looks that great. I agree with him. It's a low tier for sure. The chest grill thing is cool, but it's not enough for me. You know. He also he did a G2 Grimlock video. I know what the Grimlock mold is like, so we're not gonna... He's blue Grimlock, okay? I don't know what to say about it. And then here we have B127 Badassatron. We have the Studio Series Bumblebee. And here's that new packaging.
Or Bumblebee from the Transformers 1 movie. By the way, if you haven't seen that beautiful movie, do yourselves a massive favour and go out and buy a copy right now.
Big
you can
agree.
watch it on streaming, but I think buying physical media will help the film a lot more in the long run.
I bought mine.
Watch it. Now this yellow and silver little guy comes with his obligatory instruction sheet, 2 blaster attachments.
So my immediate biggest issue with this is that he is, the color is not terrible, but in the movie, he is so much more, like, golden that he just, like, they look so good in the movie, and the toys just aren't meeting that, man. I mean, I think it would just cost too much money to paint him like he's painted in the movie. And, there's always YOLO Park and stuff like that if you want a really accurate B127. But he has to be, like... He's one of my favorite redesigns in the movie. He's not my favorite character, but he's one of my favorite redesigns. And I like, first impression, I'm not loving his look. And I don't love Megatron or Optimus either. I like them, but I don't love them. But I'm not loving his look.
And 2 knife/sword hands, depending on your geographic location. The blaster piece is easily attached to B127 via a peg inserted into each hand, with the provision for the blade on the outside.
It is nice. Blades can be pegged. It's nice that he comes with the blasters and the blades plug into the blasters. I was worried he would only have one.
The blasters can also be stored on B's back via a tab slot connection, though the blades will need to stay attached if you want to store them with them. It does
kind of reminds me of animated Bumblebee's, like, jetpack or something.
Look like a cool jetpack, though.
Yeah.
He also comes with his rifle, which can be held in either hand or stored on B's ass via a very suspect orifice. Once inserted,
the gun looks cool. I think the blasters look cool in the movie.
It has a larger orifice. Anyway, you can store his gun.
It's nice they included that.
B127 does not come with its battle mask, nor is there one in...
I feel like that's included... so you can give it to Optimus, because he only had his Energon axe. I feel like he really needs, like, a blaster to look cool.
Integrated. Though he does have a lovely head sculpt. I think his chest looks like the face of a larger angry robot, like Gurren Lagann style. Very cool. Is there a feature or an accessory that you would have liked to see? Comment below. Looking at the
feature or accessory I would have liked to see. Battle Mask for sure. I think he just said that.
Articulation. Head is on a ball joint that affords rotation and a little waggle. Shoulders are on a hinged, stemmed ball joint, allowing for mostly a full range of movement, though once clicked out of its detented position, it gets very loose. Bicep swivel, 90-degree elbow joint, no hand articulation.
Let me get a reading from the comments. Let me know what you think. Would you like the characters to have more expressions on their faces? Like, he's got such a blank expression, and he's such a, expressive character in the movie. It just doesn't feel right. Like, it almost feels out of character for him to look like that, to me. So, I don't know. I kind of would have liked if he was smiling or something. Like, this is something I struggle with a lot, because Transformers in general just kind of have blank faces, which, fair enough. But, I would like to see some emotion on these guys every so often. And I think we do. Sometimes the Seeker remolds will have like a smirk or something, but it's not enough.
An unhindered waist swivel, and a backwards arch due to a transformation joint. Ball jointed hips that give a full range, thigh swivels, a 90-degree knee bend, deep ankle tilts, and a foot that can tilt down. Decent but not outstanding articulation. He can pull off a decent pose. Quick size comparisons. With Studio Series Transformers 1 Optimus, my previous review, Studio Series Devastation Prime, and MP60 Jinrai. Transformation time. Rotate the head, open the forearms, and rotate the hands away. Close them up again. Slightly fold out the back panel and then flip out the small panel inside. Unpeg the chest panel and swing it up. Fold away the small grey ab section, rotate the forearms 90 degrees. Tab in the back panel to the body, forming the front of the vehicle. Fold in the heels. These were likely already folded out of the box. Tilt the feet down, then fold the shin and tab them in. Swing the legs back at the hips and tab them together. Fold the backwards ab crunch from earlier and peg the two halves.
Honestly, so far this is looking pretty satisfying. Not like super complex or anything, but it looks really satisfying.
Together. Pull the arms down at the stem and collapse them into the shell, tabbing them in. Job done. The vehicle mode looks great, though you can see through the middle from the side.
I really like his vehicle mode. It's a lot like the Bumblebee movie vehicle mode, and I just have always kind of liked it.
Profile. B looks fast and rolls well.
It does have a little bit of a gap there.
Stored in vehicle mode, tabbed and pegged in.
But also, I'm not like they're Cybertronian vehicles, so I'm fine with a gap. Like, would I prefer a nice solid toy? Of course, but I can headcanon or rationalize in my head. Optimus Prime's hands are exposed because he's in Cybertron. He doesn't need to hide his hands, and there's a gap in Bumblebee because he doesn't need everything everywhere. He can have a little gap somewhere, and probably still function.
Now for some vehicle mode size comparisons, again with Transformers 1 Studio Series Prime, Legacy Knockout, Devastation Prime, and Studio Series 86 Prime. Overall, B127 is a fun little deluxe. Other than the omission of a battle mask, I feel it's a neat little package.
Oh nice, he gave Optimus the blaster.
Looking great in both modes. I look forward to getting the rest of the Studio Series line.
Unfortunately, he's a bit too... This Optimus is too small, man! Why'd they make him so small? Why? I don't understand. Why did he have to be deluxe? Why is Megatron gotta be deluxe? They're quite clearly much bigger than RC and Bumblebee. It's like... have we just given up on scale accuracy, or what?
Definitely recommend picking this one up. Thanks for watching. Leave me.
Now that I look at it, he does look a lot bigger than Bumblebee in robot mode. That's unfortunate. Sound kind of like a dumbass there. He could be bigger though. He's about, from what I remember in the movie, and I saw the movie 3 times. Okay, I saw it 3 times. He looks about the size he was when he was Orion Pax. When he's Optimus Prime, he noticeably gets taller. I swear. Like, Bumblebee is like half his height by the end of the movie, isn't he? Am I crazy? Someone help me out here. But yeah, that was Chris Carnage's Carnage Creations videos on those toys. Definitely go check him out. Go give him a subscribe. Check out his podcast. Links in the description. Super cool stuff coming up. It's cool we get to see these early. And yeah, thanks so much for watching. I appreciate y'all, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.